Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would heal our sons and daughters? Did you know your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you deliver will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day heal a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy would work where angels trod? And when you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know?
Good morning. Welcome to the Las Vegas Centers for Spiritual Living. Here on the pre-Christmas service, and we've got a lot of people showing up, all shined up for Christmas. Have a wonderful message ready, beautiful music, and let's just sit back, relax, and see what God does this morning. Very excited.
Good morning.
Say hi.
Welcome to the center.
Welcome to the center.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right. Okay.
Charlie. What's your name? Hattie.
Oh.
Merry Christmas, everyone. If you just take some deep breaths and get very comfortable in your seat and lower or close your eyes. I'm going to share a meditation with you today that I've taken from the book of the Impersonal Life by Anonymous. The thought for today's message is the silence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a statement, and I want you to take it within, and then we'll go silent. And then I'll close with another statement. So please join me in a couple deep breaths and lower your eyes. Be still and know I am God. I am the innermost part of you that sits within and calmly waits and watches, knowing neither time nor space, for I am the eternal life and fill all space. Think about that and repeat it to yourself several times quietly. Be still and know I am God. I am the innermost part of you that sits within and calmly waits and watches, knowing neither time nor space, for I am the eternal and I fill all space. And let me close with this final reading. My heart, all the power there is but my will in action. The threefold force manifesting as all wisdom, all love, all power. Or if you will, as light, heat, and energy. That which holds together all form and is back of all, in all expression and phases of life. It is but the manifestation of myself in the act or state of being. Nothing can be without manifesting and expressing some phase of me, who am not only the builder of all forms, but the dweller in each. In the heart of each I dwell, in the heart of the human, in the heart of the animal, and in the heart of the flower, and in the heart of the stone. In the heart of each I live, move, and have my being. So know with me, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that is not a part of me, controlled and ruled eternally by me, the one infinite reality. And so it is. Amen and namaste.
Good morning. Oh, I have light. My little Davey's under the weather, and we're going to sing a song with you. Love is my decision.
Do we have the words?
We may have lyrics. I am so happy to be up here with this beautiful family.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else will be to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. It's my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can let me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
Into face of God. Russell, he's got it. I'm making Russell work tonight.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my
And so if you will, lower your eyes, make yourself comfortable. Take a deep breath, releasing. And allow my words to be your words. And so I'm grateful today that there is only one God. That this God is all powerful and present everywhere. That it is in and through all that is as love and life, as peace and goodness. I am so grateful today to know that this allness fills me, is me, is the light of me, is the heart of me, is the thought, the word, the action of me. And I know that this is not only so for me, it is so for each person here. That there is absolutely no place where this divine isn't. That it is good, that it is peace, it is prosperity, and all that it is fully present right here and right now, in this place, in this space. And so I'm grateful today to know that as we move through this holiday period, that Christmas is the opportunity to appreciate the continuing birth of consciousness, day by day by day, in the soul of who we are as us. I'm so grateful that Christmas stands for family and friends and loved ones sharing all that they are and all that they have with each other, welcoming them with open hearts and joy. I am so grateful today that during this holiday season we see past that which does not seem to work and know the truth. That God being present in and through everything is present in and through everything. And that we should not become bewildered and upset. That we should all know the truth. There is only good. And so I'm grateful today to know this truth, to know that my consciousness is wide open to this power and this presence. And in this place of expanded consciousness, I give thanks for this center and for everyone that is here, knowing that they come with an open heart and that whatever the message is today, it is the right and appropriate and good message for each one of us to take in, to hold in our hearts, to allow it to impact and impress us, each one. Thank you, my God, for our beautiful music, for this family that shares their love of music with us. Thank you for the ministry of prayer that holds up the center, that keeps the light shining on it, seeing past whatever the issues are, knowing the truth. Thank you, God, for our children, for those that show up and learn and open their hearts to that divine, so that as they move through life, they are sure of themselves and they know exactly who they are. Thank you, my God, for all the volunteers and they make this place. It is the reason it is so warm and loving, because they pour their hearts out in making it a place for each one of us to come. And all that goes on here is all God's work. And we gratefully open ourselves to all that this place has to offer. And so for this truth, for this gratitude, from this place of gratitude for all that takes place here, for all that everyone does to contribute to the warmth and the love, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for our ministers and the messages. They lift, they heal, they love. Thank you, my God, for the blessings. And from this place of gratitude, and with absolute faith in the power and the presence of God in and through every word that I speak today, I release this word to that divine law, knowing here and now that it is done. And let us each say, and so it is. Here we go.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long, long ago. It's the most wonderful time of the year. There'll be mistletoeing and hearts will be glowing when loved ones are near. It's the most wonderful time. Sing that again. It's the most wonderful time. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It is the most wonderful time of the year. Oh, there they are. Hi. Before we do our normal meet and greet, I would like to, we have some chairs here to dedicate this morning. I know that Lois is out of town traveling. She's not here, is she? I don't think so. But we have a chair here for her partner in crime and love of her life, Jimmy Ross. It's in honor and memory of Jimmy Ross. We also have, is Marlena? Marlena, are you here? Marlena Chavez. She purchased a chair in honor of her mother. Just a moment, I have to read it. Mother Alice Killian, is that how you say it there? Killian? Okay. And also, we have a very good friend and congregant who has been ill, is being taken care of, but has not been able to come to service for a while. And we purchased a chair in his honor, Roy Jefferson. Also, our beloved Reverend Dan, we have a chair in memory of Thomas Gabriel Jerome, his son Tommy. So, all that good stuff. And we just want everyone to, it's obviously you're not going to forget Tommy. None of us are. None of us are going to forget Roy. But it's just a little memory, and sometimes you just happen to be sitting in front of, in back of that chair, and it's always the perfect time. It's just odd how it happens, because they end up who knows where. So I want to thank you all for putting up with that part of the service. If you don't mind, if you would stand, and if you would please say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world. And if you just turn to a neighbor and say good morning, Merry Christmas, and Happy New
These are my parents, Rochelle and Steve Collins. Play some special music for you guys. This first song is by Francesca Battistelli off of her Christmas album, which is phenomenal. You should check it out. It's called Heaven Everywhere. It's Christmas time, there's something in the air. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. Ooh. Somehow there's a little more of love, and maybe there's a little less of us. Slightly more aware. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. It's the smile on a man who has finally found hope. It's the tears of a mother whose child has come home. It's the joy that we feel and the love that we share. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. It's funny how it takes a holiday and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strain. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. There's a little bit of heaven everywhere. Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plain.
Thanks, you guys. I'm going to drag my son over here and make him sit and listen to me. That'll teach ya. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Huh? Paco was singing it the other day. It's the most beautiful time in the world. Okay. So we were at the mall, and I was watching people, shop for family and friends. And the ones that, there were those that were doing it with their whole heart. Trying to find the right thing for the right person. Lvcsl once said he was at a store and there was a whole array of Christmas cards, and there was this man kind of looking at a Christmas card, grumbling, and Leo said, "Is everything okay?" And he goes, "Well, I gotta buy a Christmas card. What?" And he goes, "Well, that's very sweet." "Well, yeah, I gotta do it or she'll kill me." So I kind of ignored those kinds of people. And I was just watching people that in earnest were talking about the person and this would be perfect for them. And I found that so endearing. And then the Christmas music, right? It's all so uplifting and it's cheerful and it's about a weary world that needed a new way to look at life, and everything's happy. Oh, and what's my favorite word? Magic. Magical. So they sing about the magic of Christmas. I just love that. And then you look at the decorations and the time people take to decorate and how beautiful it is, and you see the creativity of humankind. And then I looked a little bit like a stalker. But I was at the mall and I was watching the kids in line going to see Santa Claus. And there was that excitement of, dear God, I can just go in that room and tell this magical man what I want. And when I get up in the morning, it's gonna be there. So, they're all excited. I think Santa Claus is the equivalent of the law for adults. I just loved watching the excitement about life. And then I like the fact that during this time of year, it doesn't matter who it is, you can say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. And when I say it with passion and joy, and I say it to everyone, and it drives Paco crazy. But it's, Merry Christmas. And whatever that means for you, does it mean the Christ child? Does it mean the Christ consciousness? Does it just mean peace and goodwill? Whatever it is, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And what I'm finding now, life has changed. Because I'll walk by someone, I'll say, Merry Christmas. And they're like, or you say Merry Christmas and people stop for a minute and they're kind of taken back and they're like, oh my God, yeah, thank you, Merry Christmas to you. So I might start doing that every day of the year. So then they'll give me little pills and things, and I can just sit home and read. So as I was thinking about all of this, I thought to myself, why can't every day be Christmas? And as I began to think about that, what began to emerge for me was this. The God of my being said, listen, every day can be exactly what you want it to be. And then what sort of came from that was our first quote, Russell. Wallace D. Wattles. What book did he write? Science of Getting Rich. Science of Getting Rich. He's my kind of man. And he says this, there is a thinking stuff from which all things are made and which in its original state permeates and fills the interspaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. Man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Of course, I use the phrase almost every week. Ernest Holmes says it, how? You are surrounded by a creative medium that takes the impress of your thoughts and your words and creates your reality using those. So yeah, every day can be exactly what you want it to be. So, the title of the talk today is The Silence. And what we sort of learn over time in this teaching is we co-create with the universe. But that happens most effectively when we are in the silence. When we are in the silence, two things matter. How we apply principle to our lives, how we apply what Wallace D. Wattles, I think I would have changed my name, but it's about what we do in the silence. It's about how we apply what we learn here in the silence. And there is a need that must take place as we do our work in the silence. And that is, there is a need for consistency. There is a need to be diligent. So, I'm absolutely obsessed with this woman. Now, I wouldn't be straight for her, but I'm obsessed with her. So, it's Mae McCarthy's book, The Path to Wealth. And I work with this every day. And, she's a practitioner at the church in Seattle. She is a very, very powerful businesswoman. Earlier in her career, she created, she bought, she sold companies that were multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars worth of industry that traveled in and through her. And as some of you might recall, as we've talked about her before, she has a meeting with God every morning, the God of her being. She has, some say, a meeting with the universe. Some might say, I meet with the divine. And Mae, being the consummate businesswoman that she is, she has a meeting every morning with the CSO, the Chief Spiritual Officer. And so she gets up every morning with the CSO at 6 a.m. without fail. And she is in the silence every day, consistently and diligently. And what she does every morning, she follows a 7-step program. She reads something inspirational. She writes a gratitude letter to the CSO. We'll talk about more of that in a minute. And then she reads the letter out loud with emotion. And then she sits back in the silence, and she imagines everything that she's written about in her gratitude letter. She visions and she imagines what it would look like in her world. And then she releases, and then she goes through the day expecting the CSO to give her direction, to give her leads. And anytime something manifests, anything that comes out of her gratitude letter that comes into her experience, she stops, she celebrates, and she makes a note of it. And then in the evening, she always ends her day with gratitude and with forgiveness work. Every day, diligently, consistently, in the silence. So now, let's examine one of her gratitude letters. Let's examine one of the letters that she has actually written, and then I might share with you what came out of all of them. Now she says, when you write your gratitude letter, remember the key points are: write out gratitude statements for what you appreciate now. Write out gratitude statements for what you want as though you have already received them. Recognize with gratitude that the universal power can be used to receive all that you want. And then finally, acknowledge that the CSO is your partner in life and business and enables the universal power to work on your behalf. So let's just read one. Here we go. Good morning, CSO. Thank you for a great sleep and for all your marvelous blessings of good. Thank you for working in me, through me, as me, and by me, showing me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it in order to experience my highest and best good in all affairs. Always begin your day with gratitude. Always prepare your prayer with gratitude. I like what Rumi, the great mystic, says about gratitude. Russell. Or not. Ah, here we go. Rumi, the great mystic, says gratitude, and this is for Stacy and Cheryl. Gratitude is the wine for the soul. Go on, get drunk. And you know, I tell you, gratitude has that kind of drunken effect on you because it soothes your soul. Soothes your soul. You know, no matter what situation that you're in, when you are feeling out of ease, when you're feeling distress, know that if the moment you move into gratitude, gratitude changes your altitude. It moves you up out of your condition. This was revealed to me. It's so funny to me. We use gratitude to express our thanks for what we have. And yet, one thing happens at the same time. And that is, as we are giving thanks for what we have, we expand ourselves and we open ourselves up to receive more of what we have. That right there is a spiritual double whammy. Okay? Giving thanks and opening up for more to give thanks for. Your double whammy right there. Okay. Let's go to number 2. She says, CSO, her expression for God. I am so grateful that you are love, peace, health, joy, ease, wisdom, and huge, abundant prosperity. I love how she expresses what God is. And why is that so important? See, it's important to remember what God is. It's important to understand the attributes of God. It's important to understand the very essence of the universe. What's the universe all about? What is its motives? That is hugely important to human beings. Einstein once wrote this. The most important question you can ever ask is if the universe is a friendly place. And he said, you know, when you define the universe as a hostile place, as a place where the forces are against you, you live in a different way. If you define the universe as a place that is just random, that you just were created, and you're just here and you die, then you begin to live life as if everything is a chance, everything is a roll of the dice. But then he says, if you define the universe as a benevolent place, as God is being loving, you begin to live life from a very different energy. All of a sudden, you know that the universe is a safe place. You realize that the very fabric of the universe is love, and that you are love, and that the universe has your back, and the universe is pushing you to greatness. You begin to realize that it is all God, so it's all good. That puts you in a very different energy. And once we know that, once we know how we are defining God as love and good, that begins to define who and what we are. Listen to what May's next part of her letter is. And as you are these qualities and so much more, so am I. Your power created me to be the perfect expression of your creation as myself here on earth. I accept that role and am delighted that my talents are being used in meaningful, satisfying, fulfilling, fun, easy, successful, and hugely prosperous ways. What May is saying is, I'm the universe in expression. Listen, if God is everything and decided to create you, if God is everything and God decided to create you, what was God going to use to create you if God is everything? God ingredients. So once you begin to define who and what God is, you begin to define who you are. How empowering is that? How empowering is it to know that you're the universe expressing its infinite power and intelligence and creativity and abundance? Now that's a Christmas present right there, right? Okay, now, here we go. Thank you, CSO, for my business. Everyone related to my business is blessed at all times and receives our good. We work toward the success of our coworkers, customers, suppliers, vendors, and our world. And we accept and receive our good. We easily and joyfully create, provide, install, implement, and support our flawless, superior, easy to use, and maintenance-free products and services. Our customers are happy with our products and services and tell all their peers how wonderful they are. And as a result, they buy from us too. We are a market shareholder in our industry and have a wonderful reputation. Thank you that my business easily and joyfully receives a minimum of $15 million in sales this year, and that we are debt-free, cash flow positive, and profitable at all times and all ways. Thank you, CSO, that our business attracts and employs the very best team members who are for our highest and best good and who enjoy their work. We bless all others related to our business and experience success. Amen, right? Did you hear? Did she look at her problems? The economy, interest rates, competition, fragging employees always complaining about it. She never looked at her problems, never talked about her problems, never affirmed her problems, never complained. Does it seem to you, as it did to me, that she's pretty damn clear about her business? She's pretty darn clear about what she wants her business to look like and to feel like. She has a vision. And so she takes the power of her thought. She takes the power of her words and her feelings, and she moves them into the direction of her dreams. And why is that so important? Why is it important to approach what you want in this way? Because we are co-creators with the universe. And our thoughts are used by this amazing natural law, the law of attraction, to bring to us what is expressed through the vehicle of our thinking. We cannot create something new by using old thoughts. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. If we want something new, we need to think in a new way. All right. Next part of her letter. I love everyone, and everyone loves me. I love myself, and I am loved. I bless everyone, and everyone blesses me. I bless myself, and am blessed. I forgive everyone, and everyone forgives me. I forgive myself, and I am forgiven. You ain't the only one here. And what's interesting to me is that success in life, success in living, depends on how we interact with others. If that wasn't so, you'd be the only one here. And the 6,999,999,999 of us would be on some other planet. But there's 7 billion of us here. And again, how we manage when we are interacting with people largely determines the level of our success. Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote, "Never forget, every man, every woman is a golden link in your chain. And when you damage one of those links, yes? You damage one of those links, you sever one of those links, all of a sudden, the chain of your life is damaged. All of a sudden, one of the avenues by which life and good comes to you is no longer there. That's why we can't afford to have these events happen in life and not find a way to forgive the person. If you want the highest and best, we've got to put the chain back together. That's why Jesus said, when you come to the altar and to do your prayer work and your spiritual work with God, and you remember that you have something against someone else, you need to stop what you're doing and go take care of that. Because until that's taken care of, this isn't going to happen. We can't operate with breaks in our chains. Yes? All right. Now, next part. Now listen to this. What I love about this is listen to how she is clear about every area of her life. Listen. I am peace with poise and confidence. I am grateful for my physically fit, trim, toned, energetic, healthy body that is eternally youthful and increasingly more beautiful, whole, and complete. When she was here, she's stunning. She's stunning, she's fit, she's toned, she's together. And she told us when we met with her, I affirm this every single day. What are we saying about our bodies? I mean, everyone, you walk by the mirror and you're like, whoa, and it's always, well, I gotta change that. Oh, look at that. Thank you, gravity. All right, we're gonna leave it off. Get so excited. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I am ease and live a charmed life. All that is mine to do is done easily and joyfully, and I experience my highest and best good at all times. I am wisdom and make right decisions quickly as guided and directed by the CSO. I am huge, abundant prosperity with overflowing resources. I am rich beyond my wildest dreams with a minimum of, and she left it blank for the dollar amount, with a minimum of, and she puts after taxes, please, to use and enjoy, bless others with, as the CSO directs, and invest and increase. I am debt-free, cash flow positive, and profitable at all times. Thank you, CSO, for my husband, who is my perfect loving partner. We are so blessed and happy with you at the center of our relationship. Thank you, CSO, for my family and friends and my wonderful kitty. They are all such treasures to me. I live my purpose. I bless others and blessed. In her personal life, she is very clear about what she wants in life, and in her body, and in her income, and in her marriage, and in her friendships. Without a vision, my people perish, says the good word. What is the vision that we have, that we see, that we're affirming every day in the silence? Okay. That's part of the letter. She says this, for all this good and so much more, I give thanks. I find it interesting that she begins with gratitude and ends with gratitude. That tells us something about the power of gratitude in our lives. I believe that if people spent more time being grateful for what they have than complaining about what they don't have, they'd have more of what they really wanted. Remember, when we complain about what we don't have, what are we creating? More of what we don't have, because we're co-creators with the universe and we create with the vehicle of our thoughts and our words. So when we're complaining about what we don't have, we're saying, I would like another order of what I don't have, please. And the universe always says, yes. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
So it is.
Okay, so now the last line. I now release these words to the law, and it is done, and so it is. May says the greatest work you can do is know what you want, affirm what you want, give thanks for it, and then hand it over to God. Let go. And she says, I go about my day just knowing that the universe is going to give me a sign, going to tell me what I need to do, going to make connections for me. I don't worry about it. I release. I think I mentioned this once before. I'm getting older, so Grandpa tells the same stories all the time. But you don't go to the best baker in town and say, I want this kind of cake, this kind of frosting. And then you don't step out the door and go, and then run back in the kitchen and try to help them bake the cake you want. Get the hell out of the kitchen. Let the baker of the universe bake your good for you. And then just follow the leads that God gives. Get out of the kitchen. Okay. So, how did that all turn out? In the CSO gratitude letter, I've included what I have now, as well as what I want, as though I have already received it. As you read my letter, you may not have been able to tell which things I have already received and which ones were to manifest in the future. At the time that I wrote this letter, our business had sold $8 million of products the previous year. I thank the CSO in advance for the increase to $15 million in sales for the current year, and I followed all the CSO's directions to achieve this good. By the end of the year, we had exceeded this goal. When my company was acquired by a larger company, my personal income exceeded the goal that I had listed as my good as well. The process of thanking the CSO for everything as though you have already received it supports that achievement of your goals and intentions. In this step, you're required to identify what you want and put a name to it. Now listen, successful people will tell you that you can't have what you haven't named. I want to be happy. I just want joy in my life. What is that? What is happy? What is joy? I want to be rich. I told a true story, going through one of the worst financial times of my entire life many years ago, and I said, God, I just need more money. And I opened the door to go outside, and there was a dime on the porch. You can't have it unless you name it. Successful people will tell you that you can't have what you want until you've named it. It's like steering a boat without a desired destination. You won't get anywhere if you don't set yourself on the right course. You'll just be turning in circles. If anyone feel like maybe life has been going around in circles, then you come out, oh, there's that thing again. Around and around, and we're not going anywhere. Vague dreams, vague visions create vague experiences. Specificity. So would you say that May experienced Christmas? Well, if their sales were $15 million a year before, or whatever the number, $8 million a year before, and she wanted $15 million and then sold the company that year and it surpassed $15 million, hell, if the check for $15 million comes in for me, we're going to have one hell of a Christmas party here. Cher coming through the ceiling, Latino go-go dancers for everyone. So now here, this is really important. Because this is really what the universe had planned for this talk. And it came through so powerful, it was hard to ignore it. I don't know who this is for. I don't know if it's for all of you. But it's this. Hold on. You know, I've got this new method here that seems to be working so effectively. If I sneeze and these cards go everywhere, I don't know. Okay, so here you go. The message is this. That dream that you have, that desire that you have, that goal that you want to achieve. The God of my being said this. If the universe can't fulfill it, you would never have had that idea. If you couldn't achieve that goal, the universe would never have given that to you. And here was what, it was so clear. The three most powerful words ever expressed is the expression, God is love. God never takes a dream and maliciously dangles it in front of us and never intends to allow us to have it. Who would do that? Have any of you done that to your child when they were little? Well, some of you, like, question. But honestly, God is love. If all God is love and is motivated by love, when you have that idea of a dream, the universe says, I'm never presenting anything that I can't manifest. Rather, God puts that dream in front of us and says, go for it. Go for it. I like what God kind of nudged me to say. Every dream God gives a person comes with a lifetime money-back guarantee. The guarantee is it is absolutely manifestable. Or you're saying, well, you know, I have that dream, but I'm working at it, and it's getting hard to see, and I keep trudging. In the teachings of Abraham reminds us that oftentimes the path to our dreams sometimes looks not like our dream. It's tough. It's filled with challenges. Sometimes the path to our dream has a mountain right smack dab in the middle of it. And we think, oh, gotta be an easier way. And Abraham reminds us that sometimes that path that looks like the hardest is actually the path of least resistance. It is actually the fastest path to your dream. Okay, I want to show you a little something. Now this is kind of, so this is what kind of came through all of this. There's a young man, he's in his 40s, young punk, and he was born with a very serious case of cerebral palsy. And when he was born, and after he had been alive for a little while, the doctors pulled the parents aside and said, now listen, we don't want to create false hopes, false expectations for you. So here's the thing. This is one of the worst cases we have ever seen. And yes, you'll want to take him home. But we recommend that you don't get too attached, because you see, as he gets older, you will never be able to manage this. He will do nothing. You must prepare your psyche to have him institutionalized, because there will be no way for you to do this. And his parents looked at those doctors and said, hell no, not on our watch. This is a child of the universe. We don't give up like that. And so as they raised him, they pushed him. They challenged him, they pushed him, sometimes how the universe does, trying to move us into our greatness. But every step of the way, they did not let him slack. He was going to live a magnificent life. I want to show you an individual who decided that he's not an impossibility, but rather he is a possibility. Russell?
Here it is.
Strong leg spread.
Give it to him.
Right.
Show them the next quote. Dr. Robert Schuller, the great televangelist that my dad loved with his entire heart, once wrote, "When faced with a mountain, I will not quit. I will keep on striving until I climb over, find a pass through, tunnel underneath, or simply stay and turn the mountain into a gold mine with God's help." I love that. So whoever this is for, you need to know right now that that mountain that stands between you and that dream is your gold mine. Dr. Schuller also once said, the only thing that stands between you and grand success in living are two things: getting started and never quitting. So the universe says to you today, don't you dare quit. Don't you dare give up. Your dream is here. It's your time. It's your Christmas present. The universe says, I want you to open that present, tear the paper off, and enjoy your dream. And as you're tearing the paper off, you will probably hear my mom in the background yelling, "Save the bows! Save the bows!" I love you all. Merry Christmas.
First of all, I want to let you know that Abigail Rose has released her first single. And it's available on, you can stream it on Spotify and purchase it on iTunes. And I did her a real favor by spelling her name very strangely. Abigayle, Rose, and you can find it, yes?
Yes.
Amen. And there's lots more coming, lots more where that came from. She's in Nashville, right from up a storm, pretty cool. So we have a tune here, and it's about the Christ child, who is any one of your children, or the Christ within being born. Here's one now.
help us.
In the name of love. 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 In the name of love.
I always have the picture to see it.
It is mine, but I left my hat on. This is mine, but we don't have a lot. Today we learned about happiness and fulfillment, the silence and holiday spirit. The mind of God is manifesting in my life. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. And may I be happy. And we also made grateful ornaments. And I'm grateful for Patty and Dave. For the Ministry of Prayer team. For Reverend Stacy, for Reverend Cheryl, and for Reverend Dan. I'm thankful for my grandma and my grandpa. I'm thankful for God. And my mommy.
Well, of course. Oh, isn't that cute? I know, I always want to touch her and make it's like a doll's walking up here. I would like to ask our ministers to please come forward, any visiting ministers or practitioners to please come forward. And our Ministry of Prayer team, please come forward so everyone can see who you are and then they can go to you because this is certainly a time for joy and not for sadness. Awesome. Thank you.
All right, if you'll stand and connect. And so if you'll take a deep collective breath with us. And I just celebrate the very truth that it is all good because it is all God. I celebrate the truth that as it is all God and it is all good, then I gotta be really, really good. And what I know to be true for me, I know to be true for each and every person in this room. And so, as I stand in that knowingness, I just simply declare right here and right now that this holiday season is the best ever. That this new year that is approaching is the best to date. And so I give thanks for this teaching. I give thanks for this center. I give thanks for each and every person that is here. I give thanks knowing that each person arrives to their destination safely and sound. I know that at this very moment, the dreams that have been put on hold, The dreams that have seemed unachievable. Those dreams where that mountain stands in the way. Well, I know now that that mountain is moved. And that each person moves into the dreams that they have dreamt, the life that they have envisioned. I know that there is great success, great prosperity, great love, and great peace. And so I give thanks for it all. And I release my word into the perfect workings of the law, where I know that as I have spoken, it is already done. So I simply say, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and together we say, and so it is.
We do have a peace song for you. Just wait.
Yourselves a round of applause.
Repeat after me. Something wonderful has happened to me right now.
Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
I know this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.